Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one, the only, Deepa Pillai! Hello and welcome to Kids Kitchen, where kids teach kids how to cook. Today we're going to be making pizza. This recipe makes 4 8-inch pizzas, but it's very easy to decrease and increase depending on how many pizzas you want to make. So the ingredients for this pizza is 3 cups of flour, 2 cups of lukewarm water, half teaspoon of yeast, dry quick rising yeast actually, a half teaspoon salt, and 2 teaspoons sugar, 2 tablespoons of oil. I've used vegetable oil, but you can use pretty much any oil there is because it doesn't really matter. So now that I've got all of my ingredients ready, I'm going to start the actual making process. So I'm going to put my yeast, mix it in with my flour, and then mix my sugar and my salt into this. And now basically you just want to stir it, and then once it's nice and combined, not once it's like together, then you just add your oil. Now that you've added the oil, you get this nice bitty sort of texture. And now what you want to do is, once you've mixed it all in, I prefer doing this with my hands, but you can if you want to do it with a KitchenAid. I only do it with my hands because it's more fun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a tiny weeny bit of water and then just mix this water in so that the yeast has time to get mixed in with the water, and then they activate together and then they rise. As you can see, now I've bound it all together with the water, but I haven't used all of my water because if I use all of my water, it'll become a little bit too sticky. As you can see, it's very squishy. It's a slime-like substance. So now I'm going to dust this surface with roughly 5 tablespoons of flour. Dump it all onto the surface. And now I'm just gonna spread it around. Now I'll spread the flour evenly around this board, and I've done with my dough. I'm just gonna pick up all of the dough, place it onto the surface, and I'm just gonna twist it in, knead it carefully. If you're doing this with a KitchenAid, you can just sprinkle flour into your KitchenAid. You don't have to do this whole kneading process. But because I'm not doing it with a KitchenAid, I'm gonna just do it by hand. So now I've made this nice ball. Just gonna shape it into a ball very quickly, and then I'm going to grab a knife. I'm just going to pierce it through in the center, in the middle, and then you do it the other way. So now we've got the 4 pieces. They're roughly equal. If you want, you can weigh them out, but I think these are equal. So I'm just going to make them nice balls. Others. They don't have to be exact balls, like this. And then you want to I'm going to give you an example on one. Flatten it out like this, and then you just fold in all other sides, and you turn it around, and then just make it a nice ball again. And then you should get an end result with the back like that. Put it into and then I'm going to put that into an oiled dish and leave this to rest for 3 hours. So now it's it's been 3 hours and I've let it risen. As you can see, it's doubled in size. So now I'm just going to put roughly 2 tablespoons of flour onto my work surface. And now you want to take all of your dough. See that there's literally no dough left? That's what the oil does. Put it onto your surface. Then just knead it out. Make sure that it's all of your things covered in flour before you do this though. Because if it's not all covered in flour, then it's not gonna... But you don't also want too much flour, because then what might happen is when you're actually cooking the pizza, it might burn. As long as you can see, I'm just spreading it out. So now that I've worked it around a little bit, what you want to do is you want to use these 3 fingers and just spread it around. And now what you want to do is you want to get that nice crust shape. So what you want to do, 2 fingers, go around like this, and separate the crust from the rest of the pizza. So now that I've made the base, you want to add your toppings and your tomato paste. So the toppings that I've got is mushrooms, spring onions, bell peppers, olives, and chorizo slices, and of course the cheese. So first you want to take some of the tomato puree. Make sure you leave it tiny bit outside crust so that it has time to go from like that to like that. That's what makes the crust. Because the rest of it is pretty much weighed down. So now I've worked my sauce around the dough, I'm going to add my toppings. You can do whatever toppings you want, but make sure to add the cheese last. As you can see, I'm just putting them in very random places. You don't want a lot because that weighs down the pizza and doesn't allow it to cook properly. I'm just sprinkling cheese over, and that's it. Now it's ready for the pan. For the cooking process of the pizza, it's going to go in a non-stick pan, and then it's going to go in the oven to finish off the cooking process. Now I've put it on a pan at medium-low heat. I'm going to let it cook for 3 to 4 minutes, or until the base becomes a nice golden brown colour. That's the key. When the base becomes a nice golden brown colour, it's ready for the grill. I've let it cook for 2 minutes. I'm just gonna... You need to check off on it every 2 minutes. As you can see, it's not crisp brown yet, so it needs to cook for a little bit more. As you can see, now it's nice. This is the colour I was talking about. Now, my grill is on high setting, and you want to put this in for no more than 2 to 3 minutes, otherwise this will burn. So now the pizza's come out, it's nice and crisp. What I want to do now is I want to cut it. I want to stab there and just roll it along. And now the other one. And also, thank you to Pizza Pilgrims, which are the people who taught me this method of pizza on the pan instead of in the oven. Now it's done and it's ready. You can try this recipe at home. Super easy and super tasty. Tell me what you think and leave your thoughts in the comments below. That's good. Bye.